This is where we were yesterday before we started mixing. And I took this tip from Robert Etherson's masterclass, and what he had a really, really good idea that if you're, say you're spending 2 or 3 days on mixing a song down, if you've done some mixing on day 1, it's good to export that mix, save the project as mix 1, export that mix, drag it into your project and call it mix 2. So you've always got the point that you started at to compare to. So you've always got a nice point to skip to and make sure that you're getting it sounding better than it was the previous day. And then you can always go back to your previous projects anyway. So say you get to mix 43 and you're like, shit, mix 2 sounded better than mix 43. Then you can go back. Hopefully that doesn't happen because then you've just wasted a lot of time. But referencing is super important, and referencing is the process of having other people's music in your project as well as previous versions of your own music in your project. And if you spent an hour on something and you feel a bit lost and you feel a bit you're slowing down and you're not really able to make good decisions at that point, skip to a reference track and it'll teach you something. And it'll teach you maybe you need to turn your hi-hat up because the reference tracks all have more high end than yours does or something like that. So it's kind of like, what was it I said to you earlier? It's like having good role models. If you have, yeah, it's if you want to be a good person, it's good to have good role models. So it's like if you want to make a good mix, you should also compare your mix to other people's mixes. I can't help it. I love the metaphors. And say if I'm mastering or if I'm mixing, I'll have maybe 20 tracks from other people in my project. And as soon as I start to get a bit confused, I'll skip to them. And because you're mixing down, your song is going to be quieter than the mastered material that you're going to be referencing. So turn the other people's music down so it's the same sort of volume as yours. So then you're only comparing the frequency range and not the volume. Because if theirs sounds louder than yours, you'll be like, oh no, mine sounds shit, but it's not true. Yours is just quieter because you're focusing on other things rather than volume at that point. Okay. So here we have yesterday. So far we're on the right track. We've made some decisions, and at the end of yesterday's lesson, we seem to have made that feel a bit more powerful in the low end, a bit more satisfying in the high end, and we compressed the background swirly stuff. So we got rid of that little harsh thing, and now the background feels like it's a bit more present and a bit more easier to pick out the delicate details of.